I'm going to try and get my back axle back together. There's the diff in bits. Here's my replacement axle shaft, which is a later one, been modified. I hope it's okay. So let's get that. I'll probably get it in the lathe and polish this bit a bit and do a test fitting. Make sure the hub fits nicely, you know, lap the hub in and test the fit of the keyway. I've cleaned up the new shaft and just placed it on there. Now, when I looked at my previous video, I saw that this bit with the foam, which is this side, was that over there. So I'm going to see if I can place that over there, over the shaft. You can't see that, so oh god, falling over. Right, where's the nearest match? Unfortunately, I think I've rotated the diff as well, so I think that goes like that. Ah, there's two dots there. See if the camera can see it. On that face there, two dots each side, so that shows where the matching parts are. Okay, so that's good. These bolts have a flat, which I believe go like inward. Right, so I'm finding the flat. There's the flat. Put the flat towards the inside. That one's virtually come through, so just get a couple started, then I can put the others in. Yeah, I've just sussed it out now. When the flats are against the diff casing, all the holes are concentric like that. Let's use this handy dandy Wizzo thing. See how just even doing the job once you develop slightly better ways of doing it. I got an idea that whoever did this job last didn't actually put the bolts in the right way around, because you can see where they're kind of, there's the factory flat and there's, like, you know, so I'm not sure, to be honest. Okay, that's good. The gears all rotate. I'm rotating the shaft. That means the diff works alright. Not much end play there, so that's good. I will tighten these and I'll put some locking wire around. And what I need to do is, when I'm tightening them, I need to make sure that a slot remains in that, you know, in that I'm going to say concentric direction there. This wrench is a genuine, I don't know about a genuine Ford, but a genuine Ford service tool. And it's this length is correct for doing the big end bearings. I bought this off a old chap that was getting rid of a lot of his early Ford stuff. So let's see, kind of get a feeling for how tight these are. Yeah, not bad. I don't think you need to go absolutely mad with these. They're only 3/8 after all. So what I'll do, I'll just do each one basically to the next slot. This is the best way to work on it, where you're squeezing together like that. So all the force is sort of controlled. Yeah, that one's tight. That one's tight. Okay. Safety wire. There wasn't any in, but maybe I'll try and put some in. I'm not very good at this. I don't know if this is the right stuff or not, but this is what I've been using. Actually, I think I used MIG wire last time. There we go, that'll do, won't it? Good. This is the shaft from the right hand side of the truck, the one that didn't break. I'm just having a quick look at it. I can't see any sign of a welded repair like on the other one. That seal face looks good actually, and the taper looks okay, and the keyway looks okay. So I'm perfectly happy to continue to use this one. So I'm just going to put some grease here to help protect the seal during the first startup. You don't want grease on the taper. Taper needs to be bone dry. But that looks in good shape to me. There we go. That'll do. Without any further ado, I'm just going to shove it in there. Like that. You probably didn't see me do that, but basically I just launched the whole shebang through from the other side. I might actually pull it back out again and put the camera around the other side so you can see how I did it. I've just put this in, but I didn't really show it, so this is it from this side. It is quite heavy. So basically you just push it in, and then what I did, I kind of rocked it like that to lift it, to get it through the hole, and then just get it positioned on the pinion, but it will fall away from there. Look, it'll fall down to there, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do now is get the other axle case ready, and I don't know whether to just take a chance on bolting it back together with the gasket like it is. I don't want to mess around with lash settings or anything like that. This is just a get it back rolling again repair. I might just degrease it, cross my fingers and bolt it all together. Gotta get this keyway out. These screwdrivers were actually marketed as a screwdriver chisel set. You know, normally they say don't use as a chisel, don't they? See if I can just get that. That's it, nice, good, cool. That's out. So this should come out inwards. There's the half a half shaft. That's why it wouldn't come out, because this diameter is a bit bigger. You can't weld these things up, can you? Look at it. Quite a deep pit there, look. Keyway looks okay. Only okay. Doesn't look great. Look at that. Blimey. That's for the offerings to the gods of speed shelf, innit? I'm just going to take a chance on this. Pardon me, I'm just going to take a chance on this and clean both sides and bolt it back together. Look at that, it's like brand new, isn't it, inside? Bearing surface looks pretty good actually. Right, yeah, here we go, more dodgy practices. I think I can get a dirtier piece of rag. Put some grease on the shaft here like I did on the other one to protect the oil seal. Just put a bit around here like this. Right, will this go on? Right. Okay, bear in mind this is the first time I've done this. I've got a slight problem here. I think I might need to pull this out a bit. That's it, to give me more float on this thing. You'll see why. Because I'm struggling to get it up over here. Like that. Okay, the axle shaft's come through there now. There. There's that. Okay. So let me get the bolts. I wanted to film this bit because when I took this apart the lighting was really poor and you just couldn't see really what I was doing, so I wanted to show this because this is like, it's going to be the reverse order of how I took it apart. Right, I'm going to use that gun because from what I've seen it has been doing a really good job. Now these are for anybody that don't know, these are special bolts, and the shanks on these, I'm told, are a bit oversized. I'm just giving the half shaft a turn there to see that nothing's bound up. I think that one's stripped, would you believe? Didn't want that, did I? Let me find another bolt and I'll put it in carefully by hand. Okay, I'm just going to do that one by hand. I think it's partially stripped, so it's going to have to manage with that. You know, one that's not perfect on the whole thing is going to be okay. But the back axle's back together, so I can start reassembling. Bring this round and just stretch it a bit. Get it over there. That's it. Try not to touch the shoes, Mart. There you go. That bright pot needs to go down on the inside there. This will come up. This needs to come up like that. There. Look at that, straight through. That's good, isn't it? Is it? No, it ain't, because it didn't go through the other piece. Alright, okay. I'm going to have to get a drift to line it up. Let's try this. Put this in from the back, like that. This can go in from here. And I'll pull it, that's it. Well, I think that's it. Come on, in you go. You don't want to start hammering on these. What I was just thinking is, I wonder if it's worth loosening the axle bolts to give a little bit of free play here. I mean, it only takes a second, doesn't it? So that should mean that this has got a bit more, not this, but the axle. So I should be able to, there you go. That's got that bolt in there. That worked well, actually. So there's a little tip for you. And you witnessed it being thought of live and direct. Ah, and that's gone straight through, so that is brilliant. I just put a tap in the electric drill actually and whizzed them through the nuts and put a die nut down through the things. Okay, not brilliant. Let's just get it on. These need rotating to lock in. They're not in the right orientation. Shall I be lazy and use that gun again? Touch the brakes again. Naughty. Now, most importantly, don't forget that I've left the other ones loose, haven't I? I've got to tighten them up again. Now the brake's in place, it's harder to get access under there. Okay, the big question is, does the keyway fit? Does the key fit the keyway? Because this is a machine, you know, somebody's machined this. You don't want to hammer onto these shafts because don't forget they're only supported by the seal. I'm not 100% happy about how whoever machined that has cut that keyway all the way through the thread. Let's just offer this into position here. I'll just go and take the edge off this with a file. I'm always quite particular about keeping these axle nuts very tight. Okay, that goes in. That's in. That's just a nice. I'm just going to lift that by hand. So that's in there. I'm just giving these a light little, not going to soak them or anything, but clean piece of cloth, because I may have just touched them with my fingers when I was assembling it up. I've loaded the hub, the bearing with grease, and I've cleaned the taper in the hub. No, that's not on. That feels better. Okay. Right, okay. Okay. Right. I'm hoping when I put the nut on that this pulls on a bit further than that, because if it don't, it's not quite right. There's the little felt washer that goes into that slot in the hub there. I've done the nut up, not murdered it tight, but I don't know if you can see, but there's a bit of a slight gap there. I think that means that that half shaft is slightly longer than it should be, but I don't think it's far enough out for it to cause a problem. It would just alter the point where the there's going to be plenty of room for the bearing to roll on the race, and plenty of the drums will still work. I think the brake shoes will still work. I'm not 100% happy about it, but I don't want to have another 250-mile round trip to get the shaft changed. I could machine it here, but I don't really want to strip everything down again. What I'm also thinking though is that the lock nut don't quite go on. Maybe it'll be better when I can put the other side on and put the handbrake on and do it a bit tighter. I'll put the other side on and see what the other side looks like. I'm going to just check something. I'm going to put that on there as a spacer to keep me. I'm just going to try measuring the diameter of this shaft at that position there, if I can. well, as close as I can tell, that has come out to 27 millimeters, bang, within, you know, as tight as you can read it. Let's try this again. $27mm. Let's try it on the other side. I don't know if you realise what I'm doing, but I'm using the bearing to give me a measurement at a certain distance out. That's just finished the cut there. I've just took 30 thou off the key. Right, so I failed to capture that, but anyway, you can see the setup. I milled the keyway down and I've put the nut on, put the keyway in, put the hub on and torqued it up, and you can now see that the nut is much further on than it was, past the just past the end of the shaft. And although it isn't quite as far on as, hang on, let me see if I can get a better, don't know if you can see that, it isn't quite on as far as I would like, it is on and within the realms of being okay. So it's just a case of continuing to reassemble now. I'm going to wait for my other cameras to be finished charging up, but I'm quite prepared to run that now. I would have liked it that way further over. I did some sums actually in the house, and 10 thou on that, 10 thou on that, am I pointing at the right bit? 10 thou on the diameter of the shaft. If you reduced it by 10 thou, it would move the thing 80 thou that way. It's an 8-to-1 ratio, because a 7 degree is 1.5 inches per foot, 1.5 inch in 12 inches, which is 8-to-1. So you can imagine if that was 10 thou smaller and that was 80 thou further that way, that would be good. But I'm not prepared to strip it all down and put the shaft in the machine, in the lathe, and turn it down, because to be honest, I'm not confident I could even match the taper as well as this one. But I will be corresponding with the chap that I got the shaft from, so that he can look out for the same problem. Also, the keyway isn't deep enough. The keyway needs to be cut deeper, and if I was doing it myself I would not cut it into the thread. Okay, but anyway, that will get me rolling again, which was the whole essence of the job, wasn't it? Okay, so that's back together. I've got to put the shackles on. Well, got to put the shackles on and go around and make sure everything's nice and tight. Clean up, because I made a hell of a mess. And hopefully that's job done. But I will film putting the shackle back in, because I know some people have had problems with that, and frankly I had problems with it as well. But I'll see if I can do any tips and tricks that will help. And I've got to clamp the brake pipe back on again. But I thought it was useful to record that I was able to strip the axle down, replace the shaft, and get it all back together without even having to bleed the brakes or remove the axle. So I think that in itself is a worthy bit of information, isn't it? Okay, I'll come back in a bit when I've got a better camera and microphone set up. Cheers.